What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. In today's video, we finally have finished the maintenance. God damn, dude. A 5-hour addition added on to the maintenance was pretty absurd, but at least we're finished now. We logged into the game, and they've added a lot of stuff. There was a massive download. It was like a 40 or 50 megabyte download, which for Treasure Cruise is pretty big. Typically, when we have a batch download, it's anywhere between 20 to 25 megabytes, and they basically added a download that was double the amount of a regular batch. There was a lot of stuff that was added here, and you can see right here the brand new SUGO Fest that we've all been waiting for, the GERMA French Anniversary SUGO Fest. Now, it doesn't specifically state it's for the French anniversary, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be celebrating. Either way, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear actually on the video, there's specific OST that is built directly for the GERMA SUGO, which is so awesome. I'd love them for them to do this more often for themed SUGO Fest, to introduce like OSTs that are built for the theme of the batch. I think it's fantastic. But in this video today, we're going to be going through the SUGO Fest itself. I'll be having another video uploaded later on, which will go through every single unit in this batch, and there's a lot to talk about here because each of the units have their own evolution, and they also have, well, they don't have their own evolution, they've got a super evolution. All the units that you see on this banner, aside from the legend, all of these characters are pullable as 5-star units, and then you evolve them into 5+ units, so there's going to be a super evolution island around the release of this SUGO Fest. So let's go ahead and start talking about the SUGO Fest itself. So you can see here, this is exactly when the SUGO Fest begins. On the 27th of July, 1900 PST time is when you should expect this SUGO Fest to go live, which is pretty much the expected date that a lot of people were expecting for these characters to come out. So let's go ahead and break it down. So here we go. GERMA Double Six's Counterattack SUGO Fest. A new Sanji and Judge appears as a voiced SUGO Fest exclusive character, plus a new Ichiji, Niji, Yonji, and Reiju are here as voiced characters. Yes, all the characters in this batch have a voice, which is actually really, really cool. What's more, SUGO Fest exclusives will have a 2x rate boost. So it is a double legend rate SUGO, and with our new boosted rates of reds, this would mean that by technicality, this is without doing any calculations, but it really should be, if we go off current trends, 8% red rate. So that means that any given pull that you do, 8% chance it's going to be a legend, which is pretty high, I think. Though it would be nice if it was like a 2.5 times legend rate, so we could have got 10%. That would have been freaking wicked, but I think 8% is still pretty awesome as well. And it should be like buffed rates compared to the V2 Katakuri SUGO Fest, which was our last double legend rate SUGO Fest. So I'm really excited to see what these buffed rates are going to have with these new legend rates. It's going to be really, really cool. In this notice as well, it actually talks about the brand new dual character Sanji and Judge, but I'll wait for that in another video to talk about them because it's very, very intriguing, especially with Sanji and Judge and their swap effect. It's really, really awesome. But anyways, it says, don't miss this chance to recruit Sanji and Judge. All of the selected SUGO Fest characters will have their stats boosted and special charge time reduced at the start of the quests. So this is going to be something interesting. I actually don't know what this is for specifically, but it says there is going to be a GERMA Double Six Counterattack versus Big Mom versus Perospero and versus Katakuri. I don't actually know what these islands are, so I might have to do some research. I don't think they're global first. I feel like Japan had these before, but again, I don't really know what these are about, so we'll have to do some research about that. Now, the SUGO Fest is split into Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. If you guys have been around throughout the Anniversary SUGO Fest or throughout the Katakuri SUGO Fest, it's a pretty much the same date structure as that. So we're going to have Part 1 running from, the 27th to the 29th, so for 48 hours. And then Part 2 is going to be the next 48 hours after that. And then the Part 3 is going to be, it looks like, 3 days? 1 day, 2 day? It's going to be from the 31st until the 2nd of August, and then after the 2nd of August, they'll all return for 3 days. So you get plenty of opportunities to pull on whichever part you see fit. Now, I'll probably upload another video as well, talking about which part is the best part to pull on, where's the best place to spend your gems, because this SUGO Fest, honestly, it doesn't have anything amazing like what previous SUGOs have had, specifically like the Anniversary, right, or on the Snake Man and Katakuri SUGO, right, where on Part 1, if you did a certain amount of multis, you'd get Quickbeard, or on Katakuri, you do a certain amount of multis, you get Snake Man guaranteed. that isn't a thing for this specific SUGO. So we'll have to wait and see, and it really depends on the rate boosted characters into where you should be pulling. But let's go ahead and get into the structure of this SUGO Fest. So as we scroll down, we can see that it says from August 2nd to the 6th. Of course, as we said, all 3 parts are going to be available. 10+1 rare recruit will reset when transitioning between part 1, 2, and 3, of course. Makes a lot of sense. So here we go. This is breaking down the SUGO Fest. The first multi is going to be 30 rainbow gems. Nothing new here, discounted multi, always nice. The second multi, last wanted poster, is guaranteed to be a recommended character. Now, recommended character, I've learned from the past now, a recommended character, as it says on this banner, is any unit that you see on this list. So, Sanji and Judge, Capone, Brook, and then you've got all the brand new rare recruits. You are guaranteed to get one of these characters on the second multi-pull, which is very good. And obviously, as the parts change, the characters on that recommended list will change as well. So it's really nice to know that you are guaranteed to get one of those characters. So if you get a gold, you're guaranteed to get one of the new batch, which is really good. And the new batch is going to be difficult to pull because they only come as 5-star characters. They don't have pre-evolutions, and that's what makes some of the characters easier to pull, of course, is because you have a chance to get the 4-star, or you have a chance to get the 5-star. Not the case here. You can only pull their 5-star evolution. So, you know, it's going to be difficult to try and get your hands on them. So getting an opportunity like this to get a pretty high opportunity to get them is really good. Now, here we go with something big. So the 3rd, the 6th, and the 8th is a guaranteed red. And then after that, the 4th multi-pull. It's not a discounted multi, but it says the last wanted poster is going to be a selected SUGO Fest exclusive. Now, I don't know what the selected list is. I hope that it goes through that in this video, on this actual list here, but it doesn't really say what a selected unit's going to be. I hope that it has the list here. And then below that, the 10th and the 12th multi guaranteed to be a limited SUGO Fest exclusive character. Okay, that's pretty good. And then the 15th multi is a super limited SUGO Fest exclusive character. Okay, so if you go all the way to 15, you've got a very high chance to get one of the really top tier characters, well, depending on what part you're pulling on anyways. And it says only the 5-star versions of the characters are able to be pulled, except for 6-star Sanji and Judge, parting of father and son, and also Snake Man. Oh, why is Snake Man here, dude? No, that's really, really bad. Why is Snake Man here as well, dude? Why? I mean, he might be rate boosted on one of the other parts, but that's really, really weird. There are no additional rewards after the 15th 10+1 rare recruit. Okay, so all 3 parts are the exact same structure. Part 1, 2, and 3. You follow this, and that's what you should expect heading into the SUGO Fest. And then obviously down here, we've got the limited pool. So the limited pool, as it says here, is the 10th and 12th multi. So on the 10th and 12th multi, you're guaranteed to get one of these units on part 1. So 6-star Sanji and Judge, as well as the 5-star version as well. Capone Gang Bedge, you've got Soul King Brook, Quick Whitebeard, Legend Big Mom, version 1 Katakuri, version 2 Jinbei, and Hody Jones. Dude, why do they do that? Why do they add Hody Jones and V1 Katakuri to this list? I mean, I know a lot of people don't have V1 Katakuri, and I know some people probably don't have Hody Jones either. But if you're going that deep, I would expect it, especially on a SUGO Fest like this, I would expect it to be an end game top tier legend guaranteed to be pulled here. I don't think Hody Jones deserves to be on this list here. So that's the part 1 limited pool on the 10th or 12th multi-pull guaranteed. And then for the super limited, so this is the 15th multi, Sanji and Judge, 5 and 6-star, Capone, Brook, Quick Whitebeard, and Charlotte Linlin. So having Charlotte Linlin there, she's probably the worst one of this. I mean, I guess Brook is technically the worst one if you really want to say that. I personally don't own Brook, so for me, I will be pulling on part 1 because I do not own Legend Brook, and unfortunately, I'm really pissed off at the way that they've rate boosted this SUGO Fest because we'll talk about it when we go through the list. Okay, so now we move on to part 2. So for part 2, the characters that are rate boosted on the 10th and the 12th multi, you've got Gear 4 Snake Man, Sanji and Judge with their 5 and 6-star, of course. You have Monkey D. Luffy Gum Gum Potential, which is Quick Gear 4 Luffy, which does evolve into Snake Man. You also have Whitebeard and Marco, version 2 Akainu, version 2 Shanks, Monkey D. Garp, and Sanji, third son Vinsmoke family. I think that might be version 1 Sanji? I don't actually know. I hope that's version 2, but it might be version 1. I'm pretty sure it's version 2. And then for the 15th multi, the super limited pool on part 2, you have Snake Man, Sanji Judge. For some reason, they missed out on the 6-star Sanji and Judge here, but I would assume you could also pull the 6-star version of them. Version 2 Katakuri. You've got Quick Gear for Luffy, White Bitter Marco, and V2 Shanks. So I would probably think that if you are missing V2 Katakuri or you don't have Snake Man yet, then part 2 is easily the best part to be pulling on. And then for part 3, we've got the limited pool, which is the 10th or 12th multi, Sanji and Judge. You've got Carrot. So Carrot's the big one that I know a lot of people are after. She's rate boosted on part 3. So just putting it out there, if you do want Carrot, part 3 is the way to go. Then you've also got Vinsmoke Sanji, GERMA Kingdom Sacrifice. Okay, so that's really bad. On part 2, that is indeed version 1 Sanji. Oh, that's really bad. Oh no, that's terrible. Also for part 3, in the 10th or 12th multi, you've got Nami, version 3 Sabo, which is good, version 2 Aokiji, Zephyr, Frankie, and V2 Rayleigh. I think that the third part is probably the most well-balanced, honestly. Like, all of these characters are still relatively usable to this day. I think part 3 is really well-rounded. And then for the 15th multi, the super limited pool on part 3, you could either be Sanji and Judge, Carrot, version 2 Sanji, Nami, and Dex Sabo, which is pretty good. I think that the third day is pretty good. And then this is the selected, okay, this is the selected list. So if we go back to the list here, where it says, where is it? The 4th multi, it says the last one to post it is guaranteed to be a selected legend. So the 4th multi on any of the parts, guaranteed legend, and it's guaranteed to be one of these units. So it can be Sanji and Judge, Carrot, Brook, version 2 Sanji, Nami, Capone, you've got Quick Gear for Luffy, V2 Jinbei, Luffy and Ace, Sanji Third Son, so it's version 1 Sanji, Kung Fu Luffy, Time Skip Luffy, Log Luffy, and version 1 Jinbei, it looks like? Yeah, it looks like it. So you've got some really terrible legends towards the end. Well, I wouldn't say they're terrible. Like, version 1 Jinbei still definitely has uses. Log Luffy's terrible. Time Skip Luffy's pretty terrible outside of treasure maps. You got Kung Fu Luffy, who's still really good. Version 1 Sanji with his 6+ is relatively usable. Luffy and Ace is still pretty good. Version 2 Jinbei is good. Like, you got some pretty good legends in here, but what I'm really upset about is I know for a fact, even before we even see the rates, which we can't view right now, we can only view them on the day of the SUGO Fest, but I already know the 4th multi, like Log Luffy, Time Skip Luffy, version 1 Sanji, version 1 Jinbei, they're all going to be really high rate boosted, but there is a chance you can still get some really good characters on that 4th multi. You've got Sanji Judge, you've got Carrot, and you've got version 2 Sanji, who's still really good. Capone is fantastic still, Luffy and Ace. You do have some good characters available here, right? And that's all of the rate boosted characters. Now, the thing that I am really upset about for myself personally, because I do not own these legends, Legend Jack and Legend Catdog are not rate boosted in any part of the SUGO Fest. I mean, I know it kind of makes sense because it's supposed to be Whole Cake Island related, and I mean, those characters aren't in Whole Cake Island, but I am personally really upset about that. I would have loved for them to be rate boosted just to get a chance to try and pull them. That is really, really frustrating, but it is what it is. We can't really control these things. But there we go. That is the rundown of the SUGO Fest. Should you pull? Yes, this is definitely a good time to be pulling. It is a 2x legend rate SUGO Fest. We do have the buffed rates now, so it should be around about 8% give or take to get a red on any given poster, which is a really, really good rate. And I mean, we're not going to be getting another 2x legend rate SUGO Fest, to my knowledge, for a decently long time. So this is definitely the best part to be pulling on, the best SUGO to be pulling on. For a long time, so this is where you should be spending your gems. Obviously, there's no guaranteed unit after a certain amount of multis. Like, there's no guaranteed specific unit, so you don't really need to worry about pulling on a certain day. Just pull on the day where you have the least amount of characters, or the character that you want the most is rate boosted, and there we go. So that's the rundown of the SUGO Fest. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.